It was about a year ago that I was sat in an audience for a market research presentation, which I have to confess I wasn't really looking forward to. And then in the middle,
disappointed to hear that.
I'm sorry about that. In the middle of that, you presented the result of a little bit of code that you've been banging together, which was this conversational chatbot-based way of doing quantitative research. I sat bolt upright and thought, wow, that is the answer to so many problems that I have experienced before. So how did that happen?
I'm really delighted to hear that that was your reaction to it, because for me, the Stickybeak journey started with quite a traumatic experience for me. I was presenting to a group of important clients on a piece of telephone research that we'd conducted. And in my mind, this was a fantastically kind of robust piece of research. And the first question came from a prominent futurist in the audience. It wasn't so much a question, it was more of a flat-out attack, really, at the methodology. Her point was that landline penetration isn't anywhere what it used to be.
Right.
And that that's a dying methodology.
She was right.
She was right.
Yeah.
She was right. The more I thought about it, the more I parked my ego, my sort of embarrassment, the bruising of being attacked in that way, the more I figured she was right, and that just a shift to online wasn't the future, that somebody needed to try and take things further than that. And so I started thinking about it. And one of the first things I came up with, almost accidentally, was playing around with chatbots. And the thing I tried was, instead of getting people to ask the chatbot questions, as is more typical, was what if the chatbot started asking the people questions?
Right.
Maybe there'd be something in there. And it sounds like, as it did for me, it sparked something in you as well.
Well, it did, because I've used research for many years as an agency person, and one of the big problems of using research is you've got to use research agents.
You don't want to deal with me.
Well, no. Well, I mean, with the greatest respect, that's always expensive and slow and cumbersome. And one of the things that I saw in the bot as well was getting to some of those more difficult to get to audiences. So if it's more conversational, chat based, and you've got a character asking you questions in a messenger type format, it seemed to me that the ability to do something uniquely engaging much quicker and much cheaper opened up a whole raft of opportunities for us and value for agencies, for government departments, for universities, for big companies, anybody who uses research at the moment. This was a much better way of doing it. And then, of course, all those tens of millions of small businesses out there that don't use research at the moment because they're put off by the fact they have to hire an agency. It costs such a lot of money. It's a bureaucratic, slightly cumbersome process. So, for example, let me explain and unbundle that. If you're an account manager in a PR company or a mid-level planner in an ad agency, chances are that if you want to do research in the more traditional ways, that you don't have the authority to be able to go and recruit that. But at the levels that we are able to price the tool that we've created, you can. So if you push research and insights further down an agency or an organisation, you get much better quality decisions at the level that those decisions are being taken. So yeah, I saw a huge value.
And I think the other thing is that we're kind of, you've talked about it from that kind of angle inside the agency. I think the other piece of the equation that we've been talking a lot about is thinking about it from the perspective of a respondent who's actually participating in the survey, and providing them with a platform that feels like a genuine interaction.
Right.
As you say, nobody ever says they love doing a survey.
No, and I think your observation when you sort of reverse the thinking on the chatbot, so the chatbot doesn't answer questions, chatbot asks questions. I mean, that to me was sort of a bit of a light bulb moment as well, in that what you had done was sort of for the first time think about the respondent. I mean, personally, there's a number of brands that I really, really love. And so I engage with them because you do, and I think a lot of us do these days, and they send me these dreadful surveys, and I'm either halfway through them thinking that's a terrible experience and I think worse of you as a brand, or worse, I'm just sort of running a line, through the first, after question 10 because they've lost me.
That's right.
And, obviously we feel that we've got a solution to that. And you've now been running this with your clients for a little while, and what's their sort of feedback been, and how do you feel the sort of quality of the response?
The ones that get it really get it. There are brands who are happy to spam, 100,000 people to get 1,000 responses, and good on them. But there are also people out there who can see that in the modern world, when people's lives are getting busier and audiences are getting harder to reach, whether it's young audiences or ethnic audiences or communities of interest, that people are going to have to up their game when it comes to communicating with those people in a genuine, interesting, engaging way. And the ones who have already made that leap in their own minds get it straight away. The light bulb goes on, and away we go.